awkward moment when you're staring at a hot chick and then this pops on the screen. What's up, brothers? I hope everybody is doing well out there. Now, I just finished a conversation with a subscriber who was going through an issue, and I wanted to share it with all of you because there's actually been a lot of people out there who have asked a similar question to the one that he asked. Now, let's start off by going through his situation. And if you're somebody that's going through a similar situation, maybe you'll find it relatable and useful. Now, he had been talking with a woman that he was interested in. We'll just say he had feelings for this woman. They had been talking for a week or so. And she decided to invite herself over to his place, and she gave him the drawers. We'll get straight to the point. She came over for an evening. They slept with each other. They had a good night. The sex was good. She stayed the night. And he really had feelings for this girl. And she ended up leaving the next morning, and he never heard from her again. He texted her. He called her. She just isn't responding. And it's been more than a week, and she hasn't spoke to him. Now, this might be difficult if you're a man who is, if you have actual real feelings for a woman and you've been talking with her and you've slept with each other now and you think you're moving on to something bigger and she just leaves. She ghosts you. That can be tough. I think everybody's been through it, male or female, and it can be tough when that happens. But it's more important to understand why this happens. It's important to pull your emotions out of this situation and think critically about it so you'll know what's actually going on here. Now, imagine you are a man, or you might be a woman watching this video. Most of my viewers are males, but imagine you're going through a dry spell. Maybe you've just been working too hard. You haven't had time to hook up with any women. Maybe you just got home from the military. Hell, I don't know. Maybe you just got out of jail. There's people from all different walks of life that watch this channel. Regardless of what your situation is, let's just say you've been going through a dry spell. Maybe you just suck with women. Who cares? Whatever the situation is. And you finally say, you know what, I'm going to end this dry spell. I don't care who it's with. I don't care if she's a 2 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10. I need to end this dry spell. So any woman that's willing to give me the draws, I'm gonna take her home and I'm gonna do it. So you find a woman, and she could be a 4, she could be a 10. It really makes no difference. You take her home, you have no emotional connection to this woman. You might think you do for a minute when you're excited, but after a little bit of time goes by, you take her home, you have sex with her. Immediately after you bust your nut, and I mean immediately, and it doesn't matter if she's a 4 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, you are immediately coming up with a plan to get her out of your house. That's a fact. This is what you call post-nut clarity, and women get it too, okay? You were just horny. You wanted to hook up with somebody. She was there. She was present. You might have led her on. You might have pretended like you liked her. You might have thought you liked her. But after you hooked up with her, you knew for a fact that you did not like her. Now, she very well might want to be your girlfriend. She very well might want to stay the night. She might want to further this relationship. But you know damn well that you don't want to. You were just using her for sex. Women do the exact same thing. See, whether you're a male or a female, we're sort of biologically wired. We're hardwired. And this is before society has a chance to alter you. This is just your biology. You are hardwired to associate sex with pair bonding, associate sex with childbirth. Your biology is hardwired to do that. And because of this, if you hook up with somebody that you have no feelings for, if you don't properly go through the process of, letting it build up and developing a connection and a bond with this person, you will immediately regret your decision after you do it. And it doesn't matter if she's a 4 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10. That's just a fact. You're going to get that post-nut clarity. You might feel guilty. You might feel shameful. You might feel just icky. Me, I just feel like I need to take a shower. When I hook up with a woman that I have absolutely no feelings for, I'm like, man, I gotta clean this girl off of me. I smell like her. I just gotta get rid of her. I don't want to think about her at all anymore. And I'll ghost on her. Women do this more than men do. Why? Because women have more chances to do this than men do. A woman can approach just about any man in a bar and tell her she wants to have sex with him. Check, please. He's on his way out. If a man walks into a bar and just starts approaching women and telling them he wants to have sex with them, he's going to get kicked out. The bouncers are going to grab him by the arm and boot him out of the bar. That's just the way that works. The dynamic is a little bit different there, but still, the same thing goes into play when it comes to hooking up. If you want to play this game, some men do, some men don't. Some men want to have morals. They want to get married. They want to have a family. They want to have children. Some men just want to sleep with as many women as possible. I'm not here to tell you what you should or should not do. I'm just here to tell you what kind of results you're going to get if you are successful at one or the other. So that's basically what's going to happen, man. Now, there is the issue of pair bonding that we could get into. And this is a big subject, about notch counts, we could say. Now, a lot of people promote high notch counts. They promote that as a man, you should have an extremely high notch count. Now, in a way, a high notch count might help you out. It gives you more experience, obviously. It makes you better in the bedroom. It makes you better at managing women altogether. But it also makes you disconnect and disassociate sex with relationships, sex with having children and things like that. So it could get in the way of your future if you, later on in life, if that's what you want, But obviously with women, it's a lot worse. Now, if a woman completely disassociates sex with family, with marriage and childbirthing, this is when she just basically cuts loose. She's been turned out, so to say. If you don't know what the term turned out means, it just basically means a woman that's been ran through and psychologically broken to a point where she'll just fuck anybody, basically. Now, sadly, a lot of women are in that situation, so you're going to find a lot of women in your lifetime that just want to have sex. I know plenty of these women. I actually have a friend that lives in Dallas that works at a car dealership, and the car dealership will deliver cars all around Texas and surrounding states. Louisiana, I live in Oklahoma currently. Where else? New Mexico, Colorado, I guess. And when people order cars, she will actually have to drive the car to their place. And when she drives the car to Oklahoma, she will usually send me a text to see if I want to get together. Now, she's openly told me many times that she doesn't like me, but her body does. This is an example of a woman who has been psychologically broken, you could say. Now, is that a good thing? Maybe. Maybe in one way it's a good thing. Good for me, or good for you if you're a dude that likes to hook up with women. Good for her in a way because she's not getting her heart broken by every dude she sleeps with because she doesn't typically fall in love with the men she sleeps with. But also bad for her future if she plans on being a good wife and mother. But, this ghosting after sex thing is a modern phenomenon. It's not something that occurred 100 years ago, but it's something that occurs on a regular basis now. Anyways, I may be rambling at this point, but the moral to this story, the point of this message, is just to let you know that if a woman ghosts on you after sex, it's nothing to freak out about. It's not that you sucked in bed. It's not that she thought you had a little tool. Maybe she did, but we won't get into that. But the real issue here is just that she is a person who just wants dick. She has disassociated sex and relationships, and she sees you as a good sexual partner, but she's just not a good romantic partner. She's never developed that skill. So you can waste your time messaging her, trying to get her back. Sometimes you might get her back, and it might be worthwhile. But most of the time, it's just a lost cause. So if a woman ghosts you after sex, don't sweat it. Just let it go. After all, you've probably done the same thing to plenty of women out there. Anyways, that's about it for today, guys. LFA out.